Hello people and welcome back to MBTI and Enneagram Connections. Yesterday I talked about MBTI, I talked about cognitive functions and that stuff and gave a basic introduction to that. So today I'm going to give likewise a basic introduction to the structures of the Enneagram personality typing system. I'm not going to go very much into detail with the types today. I'm going to link a list of the types where you can read a lot more about them yourself. I'm going to get into them in later videos, but not so much in this one. But I am going to use them as examples for some of the points that I'm going to be talking about with regards to the structure. So the Enneagram type basically divides people into 9 types of people, and these 9 types are divided into 3 groups. The first group being the mind group, which is the type 8, 9, and 1. The next group is the heart group, that's 2, 3, and 4. And then there is the body group, or some call it the guts group, and that's 5, 6, 7. So basically what define these types, and these types are not interconnected with the sort of building blocks like in the MBTI with the functions. Each of these types are very unique, and they have a basic desire and a basic fear each. So for example, the 1 has a basic desire for perfection and a basic fear of being useless. The 2 have a basic desire for connection and for feeling close to people, and thus a basic fear of disconnecting from people and being sort of alone. Each of these types can have a wing, which is sort of, they will have a subtype that is less powerful but still influences how they are. And the wing will always be one of the numbers next to your main type. So type 2, for example, can only be wing 1 or wing 3. And it's still a 2 predominantly, and they will still have that desire for connection that the 2 have. But at type 1, wing 1 and wing 3, 2 will act differently on that desire, so to speak. So I'm a type 9 myself, type 9 wing 1, and the basic desire of the type 9 is peace, internal peace and external peace. And I'm just going to use that to illustrate how the types can have both good qualities about them and less good qualities about them, depending on what level they operate on. Because the Enneagram types, if I say MBTI in this video, I'm sorry, I mean Enneagram, I'm talking about the Enneagram. I'm sorry for the confusion. Each of the Enneagram types operates on different levels according to how close they are to their goal and how far they are from their basic fear. And there are 8 levels, with 1 being the highest and 8 being the lowest. And if a 9 operates on the lowest level, they will get super conflict averse, they will tiptoe, they will be disconnected from their own wants and their own opinions and needs, because they basically just want to be easygoing and maintain this peace both externally and internally. While if a 9 operates on a higher level, they will sort of realize that they don't need external peace to be at peace with themselves internally, and they can actually use that internal peace to create more peace externally while still being true to themselves. And that's the general system with the Enneagram, that each of the types, when they operate on the lower levels, will be very fixated on the fear, and while they're on the higher levels, will be more in touch with their value or their desire. The fours, for example, also the individualist, their basic need is to be unique and find their own unique identity in the world, where their basic fear is to be ordinary, to be nothing special. And that's why if they operate on a lower level, they will fixate on trying to be special. They will fixate on trying to be mysterious, and maybe even grow into this sort of identity as depressed or tormented, or nobody can understand them, and try and maintain this mysticism. While as if they operate on a higher level, they will be at peace with the fact that they are unique and that everybody is unique. The 8 is another good example. The 8 want power. The 8 want empowerment and control. As I'm sure you can imagine, on the lower levels, that can make them kind of control freak, kind of wanting to control others, while at the higher levels, they will, instead of control others, they will guide and lead others, and they will control more themselves, and find peace that way. So the Enneagram is really about telling you what do you want and what do you fear, and how close are you to letting go of that fear and achieving what it is you want. And that's really the basics of the Enneagram. Now, naturally, there are some personality traits generally attributed to each of the types, but you can be a very different personality and still have the same type, depending on your wing and depending on your tri-type, which is basically the 2 next Enneagram types that you're closest to, and your MBTI and stuff like that. So it's not to say that all type 4s are the same, they just have the same basic need, so to speak. So that's what the Enneagram is all about, and I hope it will become even clearer in future videos. I will link a page in the description where you can read more about each of the types, and I'll get more into them in upcoming videos. So this was all for now. Thank you for watching, and remember, be yourself, everybody else is taken.